Handbags are holding you down. You don't even know what they are. They're all from the subconscious. And the subconscious is there to protect you. The subconscious is after that you stay in the cave, you've got food, water, and safety, and it does not want you to go outside the cave and succeed because it's too dangerous. So it's understanding the subconscious, knowing why it's protecting you. And in the world that's going crazy at the moment, we are all about it's survival. It's purely survival. So everyone's subconscious is really talking and really winning out because we only have 5% of our conscious mind that guides us and directs us. So when you don't fight the subconscious, but you understand it, you can connect with it and you can move it forward. You keep taking the client up and up through these journey of pillars.
Welcome back to the podcast. We're here with PJ Ashley of thepillarcode.com, and we're going to be talking today about the art of healing and personal and professional development and what that means and how you can use that to change your life where everything around the world seems to be crazy and chaotic. PJ, glad to be talking to you.
Thank you for inviting me. It's wonderful to be here.
Yes, both here and we've both been invited and we're having a lot of fun. So what is your current focus? What is the problem out there that people have that needs to be solved that you are super great at solving?
We are finding that people are really lost in this changing dynamic of the planet. And there's a duality, what is going on in the planet, really division. There's division in our minds, division in our families, our friendships, in our politics. The world is being really divided and people get lost within that and give up hope and not sure what they're doing, why they're doing it, not really understanding if there's a real purpose behind all this craziness that's going on in the planet. So we help people look at there really is a good meaning for all this madness, this chaos. And one of the really good meanings is linked into the fact, why are we here? We're here to deliver a higher sense of purpose. What does that mean? Everybody has some magic to deliver in their life or for the world. And it's not about giving up. There is more to people, and I'm passionate about that. There is more to everybody. And we really help people access that, even if it's just getting off the lounge one day at a time, or lifting up to their highest, greatest potential. There is more, and we need to be a community in collaboration, supporting, helping people get through this time and really understand what it's about, rather than criticizing, critiquing, and pulling everything down around us. Really about helping people grow up, be more, be the best version that they can in a very holistic sense.
And I think this is an important topic that I think about this all the time, that there's the cognitive dissonance that they call it, right? Where you think one thing and do another, or you have these conflicting thoughts and it messes you up. And it's sometimes easier just to put it under the rug and just think about it later on, or just get caught up in the busy day-to-day activity and then just ignore your own problems that will not ruin you today, but may ruin you someday. But someday I'll just think about it later on. And that seems to be comforting, but not good long-term. And then you mentioned in there that what we should be doing instead is look into the passion and the purpose, so that way our life can have meaning, so that way we can go somewhere, do something, create this lasting change, as they say. So what would you say is like a fun story or case study where you've made this happen? Because I'm sure there's someone out there who came to you at some point and said, I need help. I'm stuck. I have all these problems. I'm not doing these things correctly. I need you and your training and your system and your structure to get me to where I need to go. So what comes to mind when I ask you about a fun story like that?
Oh, goodness. That's you're hitting on my passion here, because we're all about research in what we do. So we've created a modality that's now recognized in 39 countries. I now teach practitioners to deliver our programs. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of these stories, and we're just releasing our 100 case studies on what we've done, what people come to, what are their main issues when they're coming to us, because we understand you've got to work on life, mind, and body. You can't just work on mental health and expect your body to be better. You can't just work on body and expect your mind to be better. An example just this week, one of my corporate clients, because we deal with businesses as well who take their teams through our programs. And it was just this week that I went in and was doing evaluations with the part of the team. And I had 10 people to interview individually. 5 of the team were saying that they were really feeling no confidence, depression, anxiety, low self-worth, couldn't get out of bed, all these physical ailments really affecting their workplace. The other 5 people that I was interviewing said the exact opposite. They said they're actually now calm, even though their world is chaotic. They're actually feeling like they're in control of their addictions, of their behavior, of their energy, and that they were actually experiencing all this confidence in work themselves and confidence of where they're moving forward. And we looked at what were the difference in this one team between 5 who were doing really badly, especially with mental health, and then 5 who were really just transforming. And we looked back, and I sat down with the business owner, and we looked and we went, 18 months ago, we offered the whole team the opportunity to go through one of our personal programs. 5 of them took it up. 5 of them either weren't working there, or didn't take it up. And it was the 5 who actually went through our 12-step program that were reporting they're feeling calm, in control, and confident. It was like chalk and cheese. It was just quite a dramatic difference. The business owner then went, it's so obvious in our workplace, the ones who've gone through your program and the ones who haven't. I need to support all of my team now with the opportunity to be able to have access to it and to go through it if they choose. I hear it every day. Like, I'm accessing it every day. And it can be a difference literally between life and death, because we do get people who are saying, what's the point of living? It's just too much. The world's too much at the moment. And so we take our work really seriously in helping people going, wow, not only is your life worth living, but boy, like, you can really access the passion and the potential that you know is within you, and you can do it in a way that you lift your life, clear your mind, and get your body on that journey to be the vehicle of getting you there as well. It's a real honor. It's an amazing honor to be a part of people's journey as they do that.
And that you and me both, PJ, we have experienced those moments of saying, I need help, right? Or I need to get guidance from someone, or I need to hear just the right thing to uncover that whatever is inside me that needs to come out, right? And so this is pretty cool that it's people out there need help. And when I've just noticed that when I get stuck in my own infinite loop of thinking, the negativity is built in, and just the self-defeat and the self-doubt and the self-sabotage, it all comes automatically just from being stuck in my own existing patterns and my own existing thoughts. So I can definitely see the value in the 12-step program like you have here, where people can throw out or maybe change what's not working right now and make it into something better. And so what's this program about? Because you've given us this magic box, and you said that there's the 10 people, and the 5 that said, I don't need it, I'm fine, remained unhappy. But the 5 that said, I realized that things could be better, and I realized that I'm not 100% perfect, and I realized that I need these new perspectives, those 5 did really well. So what does this amazing program?
It's a 12-step program that literally takes people on like a stepping stone, taking people up this beautiful universal spiral staircase. It's one pillar at a time. The first thing we do is we say we've got to appease the subconscious, which is what is keeping us blocked and stuck, and go, what's all your symptoms? And the very first thing we do is we get what is called a fix-it list from your life, your mind, your body, and your business, if you've got a business. And then we write everything down. On average, people give us about 28 things on their list to start with. We then take people through pillars, and each pillar is like a universal stepping stone lifting up. Like pillar 1 is the pillar of peace. When you get someone stepping up into the peace, they can start manifesting positively, not negatively, and their belief lifts to match that in its framework. And we're looking at what in the past has blocked you from holding on to that peace now. How is it actually affecting you in your life, your mind, your body now? But what is it you're actually choosing? What are you manifesting? So it's a progression of understanding the past, being present, and accepting what it is that you can head towards, your goal, your desires, and literally lifting you up energetically into that stepping stone. And once you start, it's like you stepping out of the mud. It's like a hot air balloon that's trying to take off, and these sandbags are holding you down. You don't even know what they are. They're all from the subconscious. And the subconscious is there to protect you. The subconscious is after that you stay in the cave, you've got food, water, and safety, and it does not want you to go outside the cave and succeed because it's too dangerous. So it's understanding the subconscious, knowing why it's protecting you. And in the world that's going crazy at the moment, we are all about it's survival. It's purely survival. So everyone's subconscious is really talking and really winning out, because we only have 5% of our conscious mind that guides us and directs us. So when you don't fight the subconscious, but you understand it, you can connect with it and you can move it forward. You keep taking the client up and up through these journey of pillars. And then we bring the fix-it list back out again at the halfway part of the 6-week part of the program, and then at the end, and we get our clients to report back, and then they give us a percentage of what's on their ailments list, and it just reduces and reduces and it's just like it melts away, and you end up with these core issues that you can go, and now all the fluff is gone. I can really find my potential, my passion, my purpose, my mojo again, and what are the core issues, and I can go into the next step. So it's very holistic, it's universal, it is different, and that's why it works.
Cool. And you're reminding me of that whole idea of don't fight your subconscious, understand it. And that even though your subconscious says, don't try that, don't take that risk, it's not that your subconscious is evil or fighting against you. It's like you said,
No.
It wants to keep you safe. If this was
Safe.
caveman time millions of years ago, and you would only live to be age 20, then your subconscious wants you to stay in the cave, because if you walked outside, you might fall off a cliff and break your leg and die instantly, or get eaten by the tiger. But in this modern day and age, you want to take that walk. You want to pursue that new career. You want to take that risk or move to that new town, because there's no tiger that will eat you. There's no cliff to fall off. It's a different world. You're just running that old, out-of-date software. And so am I hearing you correctly that so people make the fix-it list, and then they go through these exercises, and then when they return to the fix-it list, maybe a lot of what they listed, like some things need to be dealt with and changed, but maybe some of what they listed doesn't really apply, or they're overthinking it, or maybe they need to pivot what they stated. It seems almost so much of what they wrote just needs to be textualized.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's all about what is stressing you, what's overwhelming you, and what's keeping you stuck. And so when you're writing that fix-it list, so we place people with a practitioner, and they do a one-on-one, it's a therapy treatment with that practitioner. And what happens is when we come back to that list, that person's going, that thing's not stressing me any longer, or I don't feel overwhelmed by that, or that's completely cleared, or that situation's resolved itself, or that's just gone, or that anxiety is not affecting me. I can actually walk into the office without a panic attack, or my relationships improve. These sandbags of these unknowns literally just start dropping away. And the more you can drop away, the higher you go. But it's not prescriptive. It's not like you get tonsillitis, you get antibiotics for the one symptom. With what we do, it's fascinating, because we can have this fix-it list, and we don't know what will clear first, and we don't know what will clear last. It's just this journey, and it is about not treating the symptom, it's treating the whole. The person lifts, and the heavier sandbags, whether it be mental, physical, or life issues, they just drop away. And the more they drop away, the more you lift. And it's the opposite of medicine. It's working on the whole and allowing everything else to resolve itself. And so it's just very complementary in that manner. And it's just a fun and fascinating journey to watch people and get to 12 weeks on and just see quite a transformation in their journey.
And I've seen this idea more and more. It seems to be like creeping in, but not everywhere. But this seems to be showing up on my radar more and more often. This idea that it's all connected, that you shouldn't just only focus on your health and neglect your business, or only focus on your relationships, but that if you can work on a little bit of all of it at once, then it lifts at the same time. And if you have this unhealthy thinking of, well, I can't do B because I need to do A first, then you're just setting up obstacles for yourself. And so it almost seems like you said, it's like the opposite of medicine. It's like the integrative medicine idea almost of how it's all connected. And you look at the big picture, the whole thing. Don't just treat the one symptom and don't just do the one little tiny, quick, easy fix. Look at the whole thing. And as far as these problems your students, your clients have been tackling, is there anything that you find particularly interesting? Like not necessarily like the what shows up again and again, but what excites, what interests you, what gets your curiosity as far as where people are stuck these days?
The very first thing people report, regardless of what they come to us with, they could come to us with stage 4 cancer, feeling depressed, or they're a business owner and they're just feeling nervous and uncomfortable about the business. It really doesn't matter. Children, babies, through to people in their 90s. The very first thing that literally they report back to us is they just say, we're just feeling calm. And just that calm is enough to really allow that person to start to reveal the real essence within themselves. And they turn from going, I'm a victim, it's a negative message, my body's in pain, my finances are shit, like all of these things are going on. They turn it, once they can be calm, they can turn it and they can go, wow, I understand the message. Because your body's just talking to you, your life's just talking to you, your world's just talking to you. It's a symptom. And literally, when you can understand that and you get those messages, it really is incredibly exciting for someone to really switch on and wake up and go, oh my goodness, I've been missing all these magical messages in my life. And so it doesn't matter what they're sitting with. It seems to be the same thing over and over. They calm down, they get their messages, they understand them, they're not the victim anymore, they get in control, and then they're on the road to lifting their confidence. And that just seems to be across the board with whatever we're doing. And it's really quite an honor to watch it reveal itself in such a short amount of time.
And when there's something that I need to get done, when I have like a project completing or a deadline, something I've been telling myself lately is I need to take the actions anyway. So what's the point of doing this stressed out? Or what's the point of doing this panicky at the last minute? If I know that it's a 100% absolute certainty that I need to go to that meeting, or I need to log on to that website or whatever, or send in that report, I have to do it. So it would make sense if I can do it while I'm being calm. And so what holds people back from getting there? I know that people have all these problems and there's your program and these steps and the fix-it list and all that, but are there struggles along the way? Or is there someone who's like in the middle of your program and they say, I know what the steps are that are laid out in front of me. I know the work I have to do, but I get stuck. I struggle. Do people struggle in your orbit as far as attaining this calm?
No, and they're actually really surprised by it. So we don't deliver a course. We are delivering a therapy. Okay. So the client just needs to show up. As long as the client shows up for 1 hour a week, sometimes that's all they're capable of doing. They're just so exhausted, or they're so anxious, or they're just so overwhelmed with life. So that's all we say to them. You don't have to learn anything or do anything. You just got to show up on Zoom for 1 hour a week. And then we start teaching people about, you can be as motivated as you like in your head, but if your body hasn't got the energy to go with you, your soul is the CEO of your life. And it's like the driver of the car. You can have that soul really beautiful and clear and know what it's doing. But if the body or the vehicle or the car is just destroyed and hasn't been looked after, you're not going to leave the garage. And the mind is like the manager GPS. And so when the mind is clear, you program where you'd like to go. The driver programs the mind, the body then gets you there. So when there's any of these that aren't actually doing their job and the mind is going, which is normally what we find, the mind is saying, no, I'm more important than the driver. I will get you there. It's like a virus in your GPS nav system. It takes you to a different town than what you've plugged it in, or it gets you to keep going, turn left, and you've got a virus in your GPS. That's like your mind taking over and going, I am more in control than my soul, and I know what I'm doing. And it's like a manager in an organization actually telling the CEO or the chairman of the board where the organization's going. It's the wrong way around. So we can identify this really quickly with people. So it's when the mind doesn't want to let go, we say that it's gone into contrast. Like someone, instead of being the pillar of resilience in their life, they've actually fallen over and they're contrasting. So we can see that throughout the journey, because it's not a straight journey. There's some ups and downs because there are messages that come out with it. So we can identify, wow, you're actually having a contrast and your mind is fighting this healing process and is really wanting to take control. And there's certain tools that we can really identify that and not fight it, but go through this clarity, this healing process by revealing it. Because anything it's like a groove on the subconscious. If it's stuck in the groove on the subconscious, you can't get out of that groove, and it will be keeping you small, keeping you safe, but your subconscious does not want success because that's dangerous. That's pushing you out there. So when you understand that you're stuck in the subconscious, we go, okay, this is what we need to do to actually get you back out into your conscious state, which is where our goals are. That's where we're really choosing. And it's really great when you can actually get through that, understand the subconscious, get to your conscious state. And we actually say reveal to heal, because there'll be things in your past that is like a PTSD. It's a groove holding you back into that, really choosing that fear, that terror, that pain, so you won't experience it again. But you can get trapped in it and not able to access your consciousness again. And so when we can actually get people to do that, it's instant calm. It's instant. But we've got to understand, if someone's been like that for 40 years, they will naturally want to go back into that sabotaging energy again. So it's about, that's why there's the 9 steps are really important to just go through, and each one has its different energy, and each one has its different name and connection and benefit from each one. And it's only when you've gone through that whole journey, it's like you've got to get to the top of the staircase. You don't stop halfway through for you to see the platform and the viewing platform of your life. And once you get there, it's quite amazing, because it's like a viewing platform going, oh my goodness, that's how I was living my life. This is how I'm living my life. But boy, that's how I'm choosing to live my life. And you can see it. And when it's brought into the conscious, it is literally, it's a snap in your calmness, control, and confidence.
I love your visualization. When I speak to you, all these things appear in front of me in my imagination, from sandbags and the virus with the GPS and the driver driving the broken down car. It really helps me to get the brain gears working and to follow along with all these things that are important. And what I'm getting from what you're saying here is that it's scary when the wrong object is in charge. If your subconscious is giving the commands, if your body is giving the commands instead of your mind, if your past is giving the commands instead of your present. So the right, I don't know, employee, or I don't know what to call it, but there's a piece of the system doing the work, and it needs to be the right part doing the right job, right? You wouldn't have the bus driver unclogging the toilet and vice versa. And that seems to be what happens when your subconscious or something else is in charge when you're not in charge. And so we need to get the control back and get the calmness back. And you said that this is therapy. And you said that we need to just think about just showing up, as difficult as that may be. It's also simple, because showing up is the first step, and it might be somewhat of a process. So what's the time frame here? What is it? Is it ongoing? Is it a clear finishing point? Is it like a time commitment over a number of weeks? What's the time frame to get this done?
It's 1 hour a week for 12 weeks, and we're really strict on it, and we make people be really accountable for it. So the first, the middle, and the end are a full hour on its own, because that's where we're getting your list, your fix-it list. We're doing a progress report on your fix-it list at the beginning and the ending. The pillars themselves, we break into 2 30-minute lots. So we're after 2 30 minutes with our clients each week, but it works out 1 hour a week for 12 weeks. And that, and you can see the program behind me. So that takes people through an entire journey, entire leveling up in life. We then have a maintenance program if people choose to do that, which they have such success. They generally go, I can't put this down. And then that will be one appointment every 4 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on how they're going, depending on people's lives. But really the program is just, it's 1 hour a week for 12 weeks, and they'll see a transformation if they're generally really choosing to step forward and be a part of that. there's very few people, and it's normally husbands who've been dragged by wives or teenagers who've been dragged by mums going, I didn't want to do this in the first place. But if someone actually is choosing to elevate their life and their consciousness and be really aligned, mind, body, soul, and really tap into their potential and know there's more and access that and deliver that with support and accountability, they will see dramatic transformation by showing up for 12 weeks.
There have been many moments in my life when I did not want to do something and I just showed up and I started doing it. And I was never able to notice when the changeover happened, but at some point I was enjoying it. And it didn't happen before, and it did not happen when I started, but at some point when it was in progress, I said, this really isn't that bad. This is fun. There's no real downside of being here. And so that's what I'm getting from you describing how the process is for some people.
Yeah, it is. Look, saying that, but the majority of our clients are choosing, like to be there. When can we start? When can we start? But we also wouldn't match it. We wouldn't also do that to a practitioner, one of our pillar practitioners. You wouldn't match them with someone who was just want to prove that their life is a mess and no one can ever fix it for them. It's not a nice teamwork collaboration. So people come with the practitioner, and it's a collaboration between the two. It's an amazing teamwork. But generally, most people really like to access, and that's that soul side saying, hey, I'm the CEO. I want the best organization in this journey as possible. So we're going to do everything that we can. And it's an incredible journey because we all have that itching of there's something more to me. There's something more to my life. And it's like, I can't scratch it. So that's always that excitement of, yeah, I actually really do choose to step up and be the best version of myself.
Wonderful. If someone has this itch and they say, I know that there's more. I know that I've been limited for one reason or another. I know that there is not unlimited time in front of me. I know that if I delay this for 5 or 10 years, there'll be other distractions that might be even harder to get started 10 years from now. If someone says, I'm excited, I want to get started now, what's the next step? How do they go to your website and find out about this, enroll, and all the above?
Go to our website, thepillarcode.com, and you'll see in there a form that they can fill in to get in contact with us, and we'll get in contact with you straight away. We're going to have a chat. You can even have a complimentary treatment with one of our practitioners. Try it out, have a bit of fun, with it, meet somebody. I just say, really have a look. You will see our research on the website. You'll see all of our information. We've got a private membership group, the Creators Club as well, where we're actually helping people with the momentum to move forward. You'll see it all on the website, videos, interviews, and more information about it. You'd be a client, come through and do the program, and anyone who's a practitioner, guide, coach, mentor, manager who'd be interested to do it, to literally be a practitioner, have a look as well, because it really is quite an amazing thing to do, and to become a pillar practitioner and deliver this to your own.
Fabulous. You've created something crazy in a good way here. And the place to go is thepillarcode.com, because as we've said in our conversation, there's only one chance at life. There's not a do-over. You need to get some of this mental health, this personal and professional development taken seriously. And if you're stuck in your own patterns, it's because you haven't accepted the right outside help to get you to where you need to go. And the help that you should be looking into is over there at thepillarcode.com, where you can check out the website. You can go to that contact button. You can contact PJ and her team and even get the complimentary treatment if that's available at thepillarcode.com. And as we're winding down our conversation here, PJ, is there anything that you think is like a really important message to get out there that is not being spoken about often enough? Because there are people out there who are hurting, who are stuck, who are looking for some real advice. So is there any advice you feel like giving out there to all the people out there that need to fulfill their potential?
The world is changing. That's not a secret. And many people understand that they're seeing the dark side, the shadow side of the changes. But there is an equal and opposite to what is happening, and that is the light consciousness lifting in there. That is the good God love consciousness, whatever you'd like to say. It's like a railway track, and the railway track, the light consciousness lifting as well as the shadow side lifting. If all you're seeing is the fear and the lack and the trauma and the terror from all the fear porn we're being delivered, then you are literally sitting in that shadow. You're sitting in the contrast side. Understand that and flip yourself back into that positive guidance, because once you flip it back over, you can still see what's happening in that contrast side, but you can be a part of your actual journey of lifting. We're lifting into a better world. We are literally lifting into a higher frequency, and you can be a part of that. Know the truth, know what's going on, understand the shadow side, but don't be buried by it. Get back into your light consciousness side, because there is an amazing journey ahead of this incredible growth. And those who are aware of it, can access it, and can get back into it, will actually be the beacon of life and light for themselves, their family, their community, and everybody. And that's the place that we need to be being from, working from, and sitting from that light consciousness side.
I love it. The new incredible journey starts today at thepillarcode.com. PJ Ashley, CEO of The Pillar Code, thank you for stopping by and blowing our minds. I feel like I need to fill up a journal with 50 pages of thoughts after speaking with you. And so everyone who is watching and listening needs to go right now to thepillarcode.com, and we will see you there.